Beavers here at Curate Space, and we are really honoured here today to have Stonebridge with us live in the studio here in Melbourne, Curate Space Melbourne. Now, you have just come to Australia to present 3 amazing gigs over the New Year. So you were at Club 23, bringing in your first set at midnight, and then you had 2 more sets within 24 hours with the Riva New Year's Day party and then after party over at Love Machine. Wow, 3 gigs in one day. How do you do it?
It's actually quite common in Australia, you know. One time I remember I did Magnetic Island, Sydney and Melbourne inside 24 hours too. It seems to be an Australian thing, and I don't mind, man. I'm an efficient guy, you know. Why not? Let's kill it. When you come from the land of IKEA, man, you're prepared.
Wow. So with these 3 gigs, how have you found your visit to Melbourne this time? What have been the highlights of your sets?
Well, we have to start with, I had a bit of time on New Year's Eve to see this city in a way I have never seen it before, especially the street art. Man, this is like the best in the world. And it's not your regular Brooklyn b-boy style, you know, it's like stand-up bases, and there was a little jazz trio playing in an alleyway, you know, I could not believe it. I was so inspired. And then come to these gigs, all these happy people. I mean, it's very friendly in Australia, I find, you know, there's no attitude or anything like that. And people seem to be grateful that you made the effort to come all the way out here. So I really love playing here, absolutely.
Yeah, and also we were discussing yesterday a lot of the changes that have been happening, and for a lot of our listeners here in New South Wales, where there have been the lockout laws, how this has really changed the gig scene. What have you seen, and how is this changing your approach to performing in Australia?
First of all, I want to address the politicians of New South Wales, and I'm going to give you a little lesson from our friends over in IKEA land. The problem with lockout laws is that you will get a blob of people hitting the streets together, and there's violence. So believe it or not, the Swedish police begged the Stockholm government, can we please have the venues open all night so people filter out? And it works. We've had that for 15 years. We have 5 a.m., but you can actually drink until 5 to 5 in the morning. And I mean, most of us Stockholm people did not believe it was true that it happened, but it works. There is no violence, there's nothing. So New South Wales, pay attention.
And as an artist yourself, you know, you're looking at having gigs in around Australia. You're finding that it's really had a big impact on the live music and the music scene in New South Wales, the gig scene. And how are you finding that different in Victoria? Like, how are the artists responding?
Well, I'm really sad, and all my Sydney fans were saying, Stone, no Sydney, you know, so I'm really heartbroken, you know, I always go to Sydney, but it was impossible, you know, it's, you know, the venues have very short time to make money, so it's very hard for them to bring international talent in, so that's another huge blow, and Sydney used to be the big, I would say Melbourne now, I mean, I got 3 shows in Melbourne, which was unique in itself. I've never done 3 shows in the same city before. Props to Melbourne.
Yeah, because you've got such a fantastic following, and what an amazing career you've had. What was it that really kicked you off into launching as a professional musician? Because there are so many people, aspiring artists out there that really look up to you, because it can be so hard to make that crossover to being a professional artist. How did you do it?
Well, I think a lot of the young guys coming up now, they do it for the wrong reason. They want to be famous, and they see DJing as a vehicle to quick fame. Actually, my dad wanted to save money for my sister's graduation party, and he said, Stone, you got a lot of records. You're the DJ. And I said, I'd never DJ in my life, but okay. He saved $50 or something. So that's how I started. I had been playing guitar in various shit bands earlier, but then one thing led to another, and I got, you know, the first gig, we got lots of bookings for other parties, and I said, I want to do this. So I started the club, I winged it. I went to a restaurant, said, guys, I want to open a club here, and they miraculously said, okay, let's do it. So opening a club is a really good start too, because you get talent in and stuff. And then As I met other DJs, we set up a remix service called Swemix, and we did remixes, pressed it on vinyl, and that's how I got my name. I made these little mixing tools called bridges, and it said Stone has made another bridge. And my friend said, "Hey man, that's a cool name, Stonebridge." So yeah, it's been a long ride, 33 years or something. So and I still love it. You know, that's a lot of people ask me, "How long are you going to do this, man? How can you have the energy to travel?" It's just a love, you know. When you stand there, like Riva, for instance, it was absolutely amazing. We had pretty much, you know, half the party behind me on stage. You know, it was like a bit challenging to mix there on occasion, but you know, it was absolutely amazing, and I do love it. You know, when you get that love and happiness from people, you know, when you play music, it's fantastic, really.
Yeah, and I feel so honoured. I've still got my New Year's Day VIP wristband on there. It was absolutely a sensational night, and just from talking with some of the other punters at the festival, you were really the highlight. So you know, you were the headline act. You were the main reason people headed out that day. You know, people would have been struggling with their hangovers and whatever else, and they're going, "No, we've got to go see Stonebridge. We're going to make this happen." And you could just see the energy lift. And in talking to people could just said that it's because your passion and your energy, and that you obviously really love what you do, and you're obviously feeling and totally embodying the music that you're creating, and that's really inspiring. Resonates for everyone. Yeah. So absolutely went off, and then the after party as well. You just finished off the night on such a high. It was awesome. So what is next for you in terms of your international touring? And what we really want to know is when are your next gigs in Australia?
I will definitely try to come back before your summer is over, because I do have other cities to cover, you know, Gold Coast and Brisbane, Sydney and all that. But I'm also working on a new single that's going to drop in March or something like that. So it's exciting times coming ahead.
Awesome. And we'd love to have you back here in Melbourne. So sure. Yeah, so and we'd love to host you here at Curate Space. It's fantastic it's such an honour to have you here.
It's funny you bring that up. You know, it's my dear friend Mark Carter. He showed me his fantastic artwork and cards and book and everything. And then he said, "Hey, you know what? My exhibition is still up, you know." And I came into this space, New York style, loft style, you know, see the funky buildings, everything. And I said, "Hey, man, this is perfect for an intimate launch party. I'm going to put up a DJ setup here. I'm going to bring in journalists, bloggers and everything, and have like a music launch here, man. It's the perfect space, I swear."
Oh, we'd be so honoured to have that here, and you know, because that's specifically what the space is set up for. It's about where creative people can come and engage and collaborate, and collaborate. That's the key word that we're really going to be discussing. So we do have Mark Carter here as well, and so after this interview, we've got a third live video. So we interviewed Mark Carter about his new book, Ignite Your Potential, and the three of us are going to be back and having a discussion around the art of collaboration, because that is really so essential. Yeah, that's it. So are there any final messages you'd like to share with your fans around the world?
Keep it real, people. Music is always the center, you know, that's the thing, the music.
Beautiful. Thanks again. We're here at Curate Space, and we look forward to seeing you all soon. Thanks for tuning in.